Hello everyone, I hope you're all dancing. It's the beard that does it. I think my last clip there was, I was watching this earlier thinking, do I look a bit like Theresa May? You remember that one that she was at the Tory conference? Is that when all the labels fell off the back wall and all that sort of stuff? Oh, I don't know. One of those. She looks awkward when she dances. I feel awkward when I dance. Do you feel, anyone feel really confident when they dance, or do they feel awkward too? I don't know. So, hello. What a beautiful evening it is here in Wirral Land. It's very bright and sunny. I think Robo's been out somewhere this afternoon. It's a bit pink. She's got some heat. I say, you think it's the beard that does it? Yeah, she's got a fine beard, Theresa May. It's a very fine beard. So let's just do some checks, because some of you know I've been having the biggest disaster on the planet with my audio. Can everybody hear me okay? Am I loud enough? Can I make myself a bit louder? I look a little bit low. Let's go a bit louder. Is that a bit better? Is that better volume? There we go. Let's go with that. All right. You can all hear me all right? Good. So, hello, Revo. Hello, Unleashed Broadcast Church. Hi. Hello. Hello to Vicky. And to Kathleen, to Kate. Hello, guys. I hope you're all okay. Drop message. Right. Hear you great. Thanks, Kate. Good. You can hear me fine. Look at that. Confirmation. You sound marvellous. Good. Wonderful. So here we go. This is week 9. And I think we've had 1 week where we missed. Did we go miss one? Or do we just have it the following day? Because of some stuff. Well, just get out of the way. I'm not going to be here next week. Oh, I know. Terrible, isn't it? I really feel bad that I'm not going to be here next week. But I'm sure I'll be here the next week after that. And that'll be cool. Yeah, some personal stuff to sort out. And, yeah, not here. So you'll have to do something else. Don't do something else that you really like and then you won't come back. You know, you have to come back. And then you're watching and catch up. Yeah, don't worry. We just won't be here for another couple of weeks. So cool. So, this week, doubt. Now, I thought this would be dead easy. Then I thought, see, I do this every time. I think, oh yeah, that was an easy one. Oh no, is it really hard? And of course, it's got something to do with this week's theme on Sunday for the Sunday service on our online broadcast church stuff. So, what is doubt? So, according to the dictionary, it's a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. Anyone got a comment about doubt? I had no doubt that there'd be lots of comments this evening. And I'm convinced, he says, I'm convinced you will be able to phone in. So anyone feeling keen to get on the blower and give me a shout and talk to me ear to ear, mouth to ear, whatever, give us a shout. I'm sure it's working. It was working before. But yeah, well, we just have to go with it. There's not a lot I can do. I'm trying to fix it all the time. So I want us to phone in. So a feeling of uncertainty or lack of conviction. I was trying to think about doubt in the natural order of stuff. So when someone tells you something and you think, yeah, I doubt that's right. Let's okay. Let's go straight in at this level. Going straight in at the self-confidence, doubt, self-doubt. Yeah. Okay. That's clearly on the list that we'll talk about doubt, the self-confidence, self-doubt. See, one of the things I thought about with this is that what is it when you're talking away and you're saying something, and you're talking with such conviction, and somebody says something, and then you suddenly start to doubt yourself. And you think, oh, hang on, I was convinced that was right. And I thought, actually, there's a bit of a manipulative part to that, isn't there? People can say that to you and create self-doubt. So not necessarily about self-confidence, but we'll come to that in a second. And imposter syndrome as well, because that's another interesting bit. But you know when you say something to someone, oh, hang on, phone's ringing. Hello, caller. Hello. Hello, it's Vicky. Right, hang on, Vic. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Right, why have I got you coming through there? Talk to me again. Right, there you go. I've got you once now. That's cool. Let me go live with Vicky. Where are you, Vic? No, I'm talking to my computer. Oh, hang on. You are here, but you're not coming through on that. Well, don't go anywhere. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. It just wasn't going to be easy. Right. No, I can hear you, and that's fine. So, if I unmute that, I can't hear you on there. Right, you are definitely on the system. Right, if I unmute that, let me go to my little grid. Grid. Right. Don't worry. Bear with us. We are going to get this to work. If it kills us, well, kills me. Somehow I think it will. 3x. Right, channel. I change that. Right. I can still hear you, but they can't. You're going to be on 9. Right. And if you talk to me, I still can't hear you. Yeah, I can still hear you, but they can't. You were so full of confidence then, weren't you? I tested this. I no doubt you had faith. See, I can test this by just restarting something, which means everything's getting muted. I'm going to try it as well. Just don't go anywhere. You won't hear anything. Just hang on. Let's see if you can come through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Everything's bouncing. What's happening now? Right. Can you hear me, Vicky? She's still there. Don't go anywhere. Can you hear me, Vic? So I think it's... Do you know what I think? Can everyone hear me on stream? If you can hear me on stream, just put a comment in the chat. Okay. Because I'm convinced that what is killing this audio is our phone system. I think it's, the opposite of having faith in yourself. Yes, you're still there. Right, okay. Vicky, try and phone in again. I really do think that it's the phone system that's absolutely crippling the audio system. See what happens there. Can't have this every week. I mean, it's boring. You're gonna watch me fixing a phone system every week. Right, let's see. I should be able to see if she's getting through to. We'll see if Vicky tries to phone in again. Hopefully she will. Let's put that there. Let's get rid of that. Right. I really hope we can get this. The whole thing about this whole audio system was this whole phone system was based around this kind of content. It's really frustrating that this isn't working. Right, I'll carry on regardless. Where was I? Oh yeah, manipulation. So when people manipulate you by sowing the seeds of doubt. Okay, yes, you can hear. Right, cool. So when people sow the seeds of doubt in us, and we could have loads of loads of confidence about it. So I always think about when I say something, I said, oh, I thought maybe I'd say this, and I was, oh yeah, no, yeah, it's a good idea, but yeah, it's your funeral. What? You don't think it's a good idea? You think that's perhaps a bad idea, and then you suddenly doubt yourself, don't you? Right, that's coming in. Let me see. Hello. Hello. Right. Yes, I can only get you. I can only get you as far as me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Vicky? Yeah. Okay. Phone system's rubbish. Okay. I can hear me in the background. Oh well. This is. I think this is the. Yeah. I'll give it up. Yeah. Give up. Give up. Yeah. Okay. I think what that's helped me do though is to find out what the culprit probably is to what's killing our audio. So we're going to do it without audio again. We could get Revo to come and jump on a mic, but I'm cool. If she wants to, she can do. But if she's happy to stay there, let's get rid of that then. Let's get rid of this one. So if Revo wants to jump on, she can. Oh. Hello. Someone else has phoned me now. Hello, Revo. No, it doesn't make any difference to you, phoning Angel. But you'd have to jump on a microphone. Yeah, you hang up. It's entirely up to you. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. Oh, darling, I don't know if you know, but I'm live. Yeah. So, okay, right. Okay. Bye. There you go. This is just me having a fight with Revo. So whether she wants to join me or not, if she wants to join me, she can figure it out. Okay. Let's go back to this then. Elaine said, other people's comments can often cause doubts in ourselves. Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite manipulative. And we see that, don't we, in abusive relationships, don't we, when people putting people down. I remember I'm not a big Corrie fan, but there was one they had running on there for like about 11 million years where this bloke was always putting his wife down and, just put her in this position of no confidence. Causes doubt, fear. There's another one, isn't it? What makes us doubt? Fear. Oh, look. I can hear her. I can hear rummage around in the dark out there. Okay. So, fear, self-confidence, same stuff. But it can be induced, can't it? I was thinking about the antonym for doubt, which was... It came up as certainty, and Revo just went belief in her first kind of response, because she was obviously pitching at it from kind of like a spiritual sense, doubt and belief. And I thought, yeah, but I think the secular term is probably certainty. And then I thought, well, hang on, there's a couple of other words here. So you've got doubt, certainty, belief, disbelief, and denial, which then suddenly opened this up to a whole throng of different things just about what doubt is and the differences of whatever. So disbelief, when something happens and you kind of look in disbelief, that you can't believe something has happened, could have happened, which I thought was an interesting one. But I was also thinking about self-imposed disbelief. And the way I was looking at it is when somebody gives you really bad news and you desperately don't want to hear it, and you go into this kind of realm of, I'm not listening. And I think your inner person knows the truth, but your projection is you're not going to allow yourself to believe that. Like really bad news or something like that. Right. I don't know what Revo's doing. I think she's trying to connect. Can I hear you? No, right. What you're going to have to do, Revo, is go and switch on the receiver downstairs. That's the one on the right with no lights on. Press the off button so it's on. Don't press any other buttons. Can you hear me on the headphones? Yeah. Go and press the receiver downstairs, and then we'll see if we can get somewhere. I'll look out for you. Okay. Right. Any other comments with regards to that? This is so disjointed, isn't it? I think there's an intense desire for this program not to work. Yes, I'm going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it. You have to have faith in yourself. Let's see what that was. Let's pop this up because it hasn't been put up. Other people's coughing often causes us to doubt ourselves. Yes, I can hear. Yes, the opposite of having faith in yourself. Let's go back to that. Oh, she's there. Let's make her. She's not live. Can she? Well, I can hear you, but I can hear you. But the question is can the system? Let's change that. Change that to that. Change it to that, and then go to this. New headphones. Right, talk to me. Right, I can't. I can hear you. It's just the system can't. So yeah. We're no further forward. Let me check one thing. This could be why. This actually is why. Try. Oh, we found you.
Anybody hear me?
Right, you're live.
Hey.
Hey, we've got Revo here.
Right, you'll have to catch up. I have to catch up now because I
Don't
missed
worry,
what have you been talking about.
I've just been going around in circles really, rather badly, because I'm just stressed out about audio. Let's get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Were you talking about like the sort of disbelief doubt when somebody tells you something and you say you don't want to, you don't believe it because you don't want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than actually really thinking it's not true, you just don't want to believe it.
I think I don't know if I've been in this situation that much before, and maybe other people have. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is about how we do this sort of stuff, but is it fear that makes you kind of impose a sense of disbelief yourself? I don't know.
Could be self-protection sometimes, maybe, rather than true doubt, isn't it? I think if it's true doubt, it's when you really are not sure whether something's right or true.
Is it denial?
Yeah, well, could be, yes.
I suppose it is, because you desperately don't want to have that.
Yeah.
Right, I think we've got something that's working, sort of, but not phone system. We'll work on the phones. Maybe we'll have to figure out, until I can get that figured out, another way of presenting this gig. I don't know how I'm going to do it, though. I've got 2 weeks to figure out, I suppose. 2 weeks to figure out. That's a real shame, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that to me seems like a denial thing, that you don't want to acknowledge the truth.
Yes, yeah. But I think for go back to sort of proper doubt, if you like, I think that often if you make a big decision in particular, even if you know it to be right, I just think it's human nature to start to doubt whether it's because of what people say, because often it's because of people's reactions if they're not what you expect, or even if it's not that. So I just think sometimes, I don't know what it is that can cause us to doubt, isn't it?
I've got an example of that, actually, and I think you've got an example of that, but you feel free to share yours if you want to, but mine certainly is that when I got out of IT. So I spent the best part of 25 years in IT. I kind of burnt out from that. Got fed up of turning up to conference calls and meetings and project planning things, where the first order of conversation was, who do we pin this on if it goes wrong? Kind of like really defeated the objective. And I just really burnt out from that. I think it was the start of my kind of midlife crisis, if I will. And when I was kind of searching, and it was kind of over the same time where I got I found that God-shaped hole, if you will, or when I found faith,
Yeah.
was completely thrown me. You answering me then? Oh yeah, doubting ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was trying to figure out what it is that I was supposed to be doing next, and I got this notion, didn't I, about that I was going to pick up a camera, and I can't forget that a certain individual, and this isn't wrong, and other people did as well, said, stick with what you know, do what you know, do what you're good at. And I thought, I can't go back to that. I've been there and done that now to a point where I can't do that anymore. I couldn't do that for a living because I think that I think it'd be too harmful for me. So I had to do something else. And I think it's an interesting point because it leads on as well. Where are we? 26, right. 26 minutes past, just to make that clear. Not a year when I was speaking to Joan when I said 1954. And she thought I was doing a year and I was doing the clock. I try and curve it about 5:30 to start moving on to more spiritual stuff. But I had a conversation with an ex-vicar of mine, if you will, rather than ex-vicar, who said that you'd be surprised at what you're actually capable of doing. And that was quite good. I think we all have this narrow view, don't we? This safety thing. I doubt I could do something else. And you'd be amazed at what you're capable of doing. And look at us now. Here we are, broadcasting, filming, all this sort of stuff. And that's what I felt my call was. And this is what I'm doing. And I do it confidently.
I think it's, but I mean, even within that though, isn't it? I think when we start to think about our own future, isn't it? And if we're making decisions that affect that future, I think that's when the doubt creeps in. Because like you, when I took voluntary redundancy from my job to explore my call as well.
This is the point I was thinking of on your part.
I was thinking, I mean, some people, I think somebody said, but how can you do that? Because at that time there was only me. I was a single parent, but I knew I could do it financially. But and then other people said, oh no, I've got to do another 10 years. I couldn't do that. But the person who was the same age as me in the same sort of stage as career, so people just often, I think, just to see things from their own point of view. I think they can't always necessarily, and it's a faith thing, I suppose, can't necessarily see it from your point of view. So they just say how it appears to them, don't they? But them just doing that, then you start to think, oh, well, is this the right thing? I think we all have moments of doubt, even if we know, and if we know in our heart of hearts that what we're doing is right. I think it's, as I say, I just think it's human nature.
I think often there must be sort of some kind of swingometer when we make a decision about what we're going to do, and we get to a point where it's like, well, that's the commit point. So it might be like 65, 70%. You think, yeah, I'm going to go with it. Yeah. When are we ever 100% certain about stuff that we do? And often we're not. And I think that we do that. I think for you in your exploration of faith, if you will, and the decision to become a lady of the cloth. Does that sounds wrong, doesn't it? I don't know.
As long as it was cloth and not nice.
Yeah, it almost sounded wrong, didn't it? Yeah. So clergy. I see. When you became clergy. Yeah, I remember having that conversation with you because we knew each other then, didn't we? And although we didn't know each other in the slightly more than acquaintance type thing, we talked about this, you and I. You talked about. I'm glad you actually talked about it because it's an interesting topic. We're both in the same situation, where I was looking for a new direction in my life with regards to work and commitment and reason for being. In a sense, I'd found faith, and I was now looking to say, right, I've got faith now. What does this mean? And you were in this position saying that I have this role. I'm secure. I'm okay. And now I'm about to just chuck that all out all out the back door and drastically reduce your income, become a vicar.
Well, I wasn't even sure that I would. It was only exploring the call. I didn't even know whether I was going to be accepted for training at that point. So it was really more of a thing. But yes,
But you must have known that when you're exploring the call. I mean, I always find this an interesting concept. It's like, or phrase. I'm exploring a call to ordination. What? So just. I think in your heart of hearts, you were thinking that I'm planning to become a vicar.
Yes, yeah.
That's what it is, and unless something tells you otherwise.
Yeah.
See, and I think this is an interesting point, is that if things, and I suppose things did crop up when you were, for want of a better phrase, exploring your call.
Yeah.
That were boulders that came up in the way that could have actually said, yeah, clearly this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And yet, no, it doesn't matter what boulders are fired at you. You were doing it. You were continuing to explore that call. Yeah. So it's like, at what point, at what measurement do you sort of say, well, actually, yeah, I think this is wrong. And there were some fairly testing parts, I think, for you that were going on there. So I think it was more than exploring. I think there was no doubt at the beginning you knew what you were planning to, what you thought you had to do.
Yeah, but I'm sure others can empathise with this. I think even if you know you're on a plan or a journey or a call or whatever you want to call it, that there are still times when, we have to keep discerning, don't we? That because that we are following the right path, don't we? So, and I think doubt's part of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking discerning. I suppose we're in the other half hour now, so we can start talking on that sense. But I think in normal land, the secular land, when people have got that conviction, it takes courage. And I think it takes courage both in a secular and a spiritual way. That you have courage to continue to do what you think you've been called to do. Right, let's just fire at this mess. Have you got...
Kate's got a comment.
Are you watching, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on, you read it out then.
Doubt is also caused when you've trusted others and they have not delivered on their word. Yeah.
Is that doubt, or is it just they're useless?
Well, perhaps they are, but it makes you doubt, doesn't it? It makes you doubt other people. If people have said, doesn't it? I think if you've... I'm
one of the least trusting people there is, because I'm one of these people that if you want a job doing, do it yourself, because nobody ever does whatever I want to do right. So to stop them from disappointing me and me being disappointed, I just go on and do it myself. So that's
an interesting comment, because and you said that. Say it again. You said that it's something about the reason why you don't trust is because it's a protection thing to stop yourself from being let down. That's exactly what I was thinking about what Kate just said.
But it's also to protect them from being in a position of letting me down. It's not just that, I feel disappointed. If I ask you to pack a shopping bag, Angel, yeah, I'm going to feel very let down, and you're going to let me down. Yeah. All right, and then
I doubt you would ever ask me to do such an important task.
Or such as load the dishwasher.
No, that as well.
Whoa, that'd be a thing. So I isn't that just one of those?
Kate's,
hang on. Isn't it one of those choice decisions? Yeah, that you make for all round the right reasons.
Oh, well, maybe.
I think it's about trust, isn't it? Going back to Kate's comment, though, it's about this thing about trusting people, and this comes into the spiritual sense of we all let each other down. We're rubbish at it. We are really, really bad, and the only person that never lets you down is Jesus.
Yes.
So we'll come more into that closer in the bigger hour. But go on.
But Kate says politicians come to mind. So, when they've not delivered what they said they were going to do. Topical at the moment, isn't it? Well, does that mean, therefore, we can trust, when they're absolutely sure as in other ways? I think that is really valid, isn't it? You doubt.
Are we still having this conversation, really, about can politicians be trusted? At the end of the day, there's part of me that thinks I'm not really bothered about trusting politicians. I've come to the conclusion that that's not how politics works. Yeah.
No, maybe not.
I don't look at politics and think, do I want somebody who I consider to be trustworthy and blah, blah, blah. And I sort of sometimes think, no, I don't actually. I just want someone who gets the job done.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing, is that I'm not really bothered about their personality. I'm not really sort of bothered about, because they're in a role of politics where everything is pulled left, right, up and down, and it changes like some sort of like liquid minefield, I think. It's kind of how can, you have to, you're almost like having to move, lie, change, deny everything on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How can you be true and honest? I think. In fact, I see these memes of people that go into politics and look 25, and then when they're 26, they look like 165. Because they've gone into politics because of the stress and strain of it all.
It's interesting, isn't it? Doubt seems to be like connected to its trust, self-confidence, self-protection. There's lots of things that it links to, isn't it?
Trust is a big one, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's partly trusting other people, so you doubt that the phrase. Do you know, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm like that. I'm pleasantly surprised. You managed to do that without blowing up the entire house. I was quite pleasantly surprised. Let's have a quick look at this one from Vicky. I think we can be certain we have to explore a particular path, while not knowing if we were meant to get on or to get to the end of that path. Dipping your toe, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But I think some people don't have the self-confidence to even do that. Yeah, they don't have the self-confidence to go and have a go.
Yeah.
You've got to have a go, ain't you? It's important. And I suppose that when you're on a path and it feels like you're winning, then you feel like you've made the right choice.
Yeah.
But then you get on a path and you think, this is hard work. Sometimes I'm wondering should I have ever bothered doing this? I have to say there's times with the effort that we do in the Unleashed stuff where it's been that hard with the amount of work that's been. It's made me think, is this right? Is this right? And then I get my reassurance elsewhere. Normally at the backhand of the wife saying, get in there and do some editing. Get in, edit. You need to edit. No, that's not true. But sometimes it is tough and it's hard work. And then, I don't know, we get rewarded, don't we? In some sense from some of the stuff we do. But you're right, Vicky, you really do have to have a crack at stuff as it comes to you. It's important. I suppose the other thing is, if you don't do that, you always kind of look back thinking, I don't know what I could have been. I don't know what I should have tried that. Could have had a go. So I'll talk about imposter syndrome, because that's been something I struggle with a little bit. Not often, but I've been struggling with it a bit for the last couple of weeks. Does anybody else know what it is and suffer from it? I mean, I can say what the definition is. So imposter syndrome refers to an internal experience of believing that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be. I suppose that's the concept of like a swan, isn't it, on the river? Yeah, looking all elegant and wonderful on the top and then paddling like mad underneath, isn't it? The panicking stuff. Does anyone else feel that? Does anyone else suffer from that from time to time or ever?
Right. Yeah, I think it's quite natural to suffer that from time to time, isn't it? To think, well, I know the curates group that I'm part of, it's a subject that's come up.
All right, this is a Facebook page thing or something?
Yes.
All right.
That people sort of feel, I think perhaps because of the enormity of the role, I suppose, really, if you really stop and think about it, and maybe other people think that about some of the things they do. If you think about the enormity of what you do and maybe the responsibilities you have, and that if people are looking to you for things or whatever, that actually there might well be times when you think, well, am I really sort of the right person for this?
Do you ever wake up? Do you ever wake up in the morning and go, I'm a vicar? Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened?
Well, I'm not sure I wake up in the morning, but I do sometimes look, particularly if you look back to earlier in life, because obviously I've come to this a bit later in life, haven't I? That that it's quite an amazing journey 42? To have been on.
What's wrong with 42?
Yeah.
So actually, for any other clergy on the call, on the stream, do you ever like go, I'm a vicar? Not because, and I suppose the sense is it's not because of the importance of the role, and yet it is about the importance of the role, and it's not about this kind of grandiose view of what vicars are. I know as vicars are just fundamentally normal people with a call to serve God in a way that they do it. But
Yeah.
I think it's probably, from my perspective, is about the amount of responsibility you've been handed. It's nothing to do with the badge you've got. Look, I'm clergy. Check out how important I am.
No.
It's like, I'm clergy. Oh my God, how important is that?
I think I can compare it to how I think a lot of people feel about parenthood as well, when they first become parents as well. You know, that actually that's a huge responsibility that you undertake, isn't it? And yeah, so I think it can happen in other spheres of life, definitely.
Well, Vicky's got response being clergy. Yes, sometimes. In fact, I don't know. She might be being pedantic here. I don't know. No, I'm retired as a vicar, but I'm still a priest.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, but you still get the concept of role, whether you're a vicar, a priest, or whatever. That comes with a huge amount of responsibility. It's not just like a job, is it?
No, it's a calling, isn't it? Yeah.
So I suppose, hang on, let's just look at that, because she made a point. So the vicar's a job, priest is a ministry. Is that what she's saying?
I think a priest is sort of who you are, isn't it?
Yeah,
who God's called you to be.
Yeah.
A vicar is the name given to the role that the role that you do. If you're you know.
So we're kind of talking semantics, but I suppose the point, all right, rather than vicar, then the comment would be that you ever wake up in the morning and go, I'm a priest. I was going to say I'm a cleric, but then I suddenly thought of World of Warcraft. You go around blasting things with magic. Then I thought, no, that's not quite what I meant. But yeah, so yeah, but you're there with a huge degree of responsibility that people look at, and yeah. So I want to see what Kate's written in the past. So that was also caused. Oh, hang on, what's that? What's happened? Yes, priesthood is. What's written here? Yes, priesthood is an ontological change. What does that mean? What's that in English? What's that for people that speak normal? Let's go to Kate's comment.
It means the Holy Spirit works and changes you.
I think the same can be said for those teaching or medicine.
Yeah, people who say, oh, you know, I'm a doctor, I'm a surgeon, I'm a, you know.
I'm a doctor. Hold my coat. Hold my beer. I'm a doctor. I don't know.
I think this is about how other people see you as much, because as you say, it doesn't matter what you do in life. You know, jobs, you know, everybody's job or role is important, isn't it? Whether you're a doctor or whether you're, you know, you're a stay-at-home mum, whether you're a cleaner, whatever it is, they're all important, isn't it? I think the doubt thing is how other people see, because people look up to a doctor because they have all this knowledge that most people don't have, don't they, and that sort of thing. So, I suppose, or a surgeon or something. So perhaps it's about how perhaps you doubt yourself because of the way other people view you. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
I don't know. Well, how do people? What's the difference between someone? How would in my own mind I'm thinking this? How would I perceive a ontological priest? Is that the right word? I might have to Google that, because people use big words around me and I don't get it. What's the difference between a priest and I'm not talking about roles and tasks here. How do you perceive a priest versus a brain surgeon?
What's the difference?
Well, not in their roles and tasks, but how do you look at those people? I mean, priests. Yeah, you know, brain surgeons are brain surgeons, aren't they? They can go in and they're pretty good with their hands, all right, and they've got good glasses on and stuff, and they do that sort of stuff. But priest is something bigger than that in my head, in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's ontological, so that's, the Holy Spirit, how it works in you when you're ordained to. That's how I understand it anyway.
Vicky,
Which means you become a priest.
you become a priest. So what are you then? Yeah, Vicky, you can answer this as well. What are you then before you're ordained? Does it happen then? Is that when you become, like you get, what's the phrase, your training wheels come off as a vicar? Have a think about that and come back to on that one. But I think there is a point. I suppose there is a way about, this is all about how we perceive one another, isn't it? And how we want to be perceived. Do you remember the old BT advert? Do you remember that when it had, what's her name, Maureen Lipton? Do you remember Maureen Lipton?
Lipman.
That was it. Lipton, isn't that a brand of tea? That's right, yeah. Maureen Lipman, when she said he's got an ology, he's a scientist, yeah, and he got like a degree in, not a degree, something in sociology. He's an ology. He's failed everything, but he's got an ology. You're a scientist, a layperson-ology. What's that mean? Yes, priesthood is an. Oh, okay, let me put this up.
A laypersonology.
What's that mean? Do you know what she means?
I
don't.
No, I'm not sure.
Sorry, predictive text. Okay, she's on predictive text here. Okay, let's see what this one says. Ontological change is the change in one who receives holy orders. There we go. I've learnt. I was trying to figure out. I was just having this image of how you get them orders. They're kind of fired at you. They come by second-class post, or is it? But are your holy orders received before at your call, or is it when you're ordained? I think
people believe different things about it. Actually, that actually. I suppose, I don't know, I'm just looking at a definition that says that, it means if an ontological change confers an indelible spiritual character. So it's like this, almost like an anointing, I suppose, that happens when you're ordained.
Well, Vicky's put this comment up, which I think, and then we'll move on to something different in a second. When the bishops lay their hands on you.
Yeah.
So that's your holy orders by the bish. Okay. Right. Yeah. Interesting. Ontological. Sorry, none of this is about doubt. Hey,
we moved on to something else.
Have you noticed the whole all of our programming is never about the theme? If you go back and look at the thing, how do we end up on that? That's right. Self-confidence. We were talking about imposter syndrome, and then we talked about doubt. We talked about the concept of how people perceive other people, whether priests are perceived more important than brain surgeons, and all this sort of stuff. Self-confidence, how other people perceive us and stuff like that. I guess the doubt thing. I'm going to switch to you on this, Revo. You can take something about this with doubt in faith.
Well, doubt, I was going to say, I suppose we haven't talked about, which links to sort of doubt and faith, is when you doubt, yourself. So you believe something and then you doubt it, isn't it?
So you're talking about faith?
I can talk about faith if you like, yes.
No, I'm asking if you are.
Yeah, because even if if you have faith, I think we all have times of doubt within that, don't we?
100%.
So that's just, like I said, going back to this being human thing. I think sometimes, given the right circumstances, people do start to ask questions, particularly when really difficult things happen, isn't it?
I think this is just from the last comment. You said changes you from the very core from Kate. So just to get that out, so it's not missed. Carry on.
Yeah. I suppose doubt in a faith thing is that I would say it is human to have doubts, or you might just. I mean, you could call it depends. Like this definition of doubt again, isn't it? You could call it doubt or questioning, isn't it? or sometimes just not knowing or being able to feel that God's there, isn't it, if there's a difficult situation. You know, if something, or awful things happen.
I'm trying to respond to you in a. I'm thinking to construct a sentence. It's an interesting point that let's just hypothetically think of a scenario where you feel very much filled with faith, and there's evidence all around you with regards to miracles. And I'm not saying you're not walking on water type miracles, but stuff that you say, that's slightly out of the ordinary. Or I look back and think, yeah, that is some sort of, what's it called, synology or whatever it's called. Something's going on here. I think I suppose it's questioning when you suddenly doubt faith. Is it? I think sometimes it's going back to disbelief and denial. I think it's not just necessarily doubt. I think I think there's I'm trying to think of like an oscilloscope, like something bouncing like this, where our faith levels are high and they're a bit lower and all this sort of stuff, and we're kind of moving along a bit like this, or we're very filled with faith, we're a bit doubtful today, all this sort of stuff. But when it's kind of like crashes further than that, I think there's a denial in it. There's something going on, and that's why I think there's enemy attack stuff going on there, because you've already experienced stuff that you should really say has been enough for you to say, I don't doubt my faith.
No,
there's something else going on, I think, that triggers. Do you know, again, maybe this is testing, those testing times when things aren't working out for us, and an inner anger is being projected against God, you know, because you're having to go through these things and you think this isn't necessary, and a bit of a turning your back a bit off. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole raft of things going on here, I think, which isn't just like, yeah, well, today I believe in God 98% and I only believe in Him 10% today.
Yeah, I think it's hard to talk about this, actually, because in a sense, because when I say doubt, I mean, I suppose it's what do we mean when we say we doubt?
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that I really doubt that God is there, but there are times I question, isn't it? Or you might think, you know, particularly if you're, you know, when really awful things happen or terrible things happen to other people as well, and they're asking you questions about it, you know, like sort of the where is God? I don't think it actually makes me think, well, He's not there. I don't believe I do think that. But then it's when all you can do to hold on, isn't it? So I don't know whether that's doubt or not really, or just more difficulty in understanding and being able to articulate it.
I'm just getting a bit of scripture here that Kate sent us.
Oh, yeah.
Let me black that up. If I chuck that into chat, I can post that. Control V, fire, get rid of this. Hello, fire. Really? It won't let me take that up. What's it saying? Why can't I post that?
What are we on?
Oh, too many characters.
No.
I'll just remember the phrase, it will be done at the end. Oh, that's still...
I'll look at it.
You've only got 200 characters. Look, I'll read it out. Jesus answered then, truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only will you do what has been done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, be lifted up and thrown down into the sea, it will be done.
Well, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because that's talking about having faith to believe in, you know, in the real power of God, isn't it? As well, you know.
So just go back over your last bit about doubt. What you're saying, like, what do you mean by doubt? I was trying to look up this scripture.
I don't know whether the doubt is more... I don't know. I'm finding it hard to discern, really. All I'm saying is I don't think, in all honesty, I really doubt the existence of God, even in the worst things. But sometimes it's when you perhaps can't feel that He's there, when really terrible things are happening, isn't it? But I don't know, maybe that isn't doubt. Maybe it's just a difficult time, isn't it?
Do you think your behaviour... This could go wrong. Do you think your behaviour is an explanation of the way that you feel in your faith? Not all the time. When things are troubling you. See, I suppose, like, for me, and I've talked about, we've had a lot of stress over the last X number of weeks and stuff. Do you know, if we had, like, 100% faith, we'd be, like, skipping around the house, wouldn't we, going, yeah, but God's got my 6 and it's fine. You know, everything's falling apart at the seams and, you know, the dog's vomiting everywhere and we're going to the vets at, 6 in the morning, the expensive vets, and everything's going all the wrong shape. And I sometimes think if I had stronger faith, I'd just be like, and is it stronger faith? Is it doubt? I don't think it's doubt.
That's what I mean. I think it's quite hard to do.
Strength of faith.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I suppose the point is that when we think of strength of faith, and we think about, look, I have no doubt in my faith of God. What I have doubt in is what He's going to give me. In the sense of, I pray for something, will that be what I get? No. So this is an interesting thing I was looking at the other day. It was actually something I heard on UCB2. And I think I finished on it. So UCB2, there was something talking about, and it was a traffic light, red light, green light, and amber light. And I thought this is really powerful. And it's something I'm trying to look at and take. It resonated with me with certain things that have been going on and all that sort of stuff. So when you pray up for something, and this is about answer for prayer. So, if you don't get the right answer to prayer, is that not like sort of part of doubt? You think, I'm going to pray for this because this is what I think I really need or want or desire. Because let's just say it's in the benefit of your own ministry that you're trying to do for God. And you said, I'll pray for that, and you get a green light from God, that's it works. Ka-ching, happy days. And then you get like a red light, which is, no, you're not having that. That's not what I want you to do. And then you get an amber light, which is the one I like, because I think about this all the time, which is absolutely just not right now. Just be patient, yeah? And it was interesting because I thought, sometimes you need to know that you don't need to pursue things that are just not relevant, or something God doesn't want you doing. And the other thing is, yes, they are relevant, but just not right now. And some things are relevant and they're right now. But I think that was where I was coming back with strength of faith. It's almost like, it's not like that by definition we're Christians and we have faith that everything works out 100% right, which it doesn't. And that, of course, when we sit down to pray, kneel, pray, whatever, that we pray for something, we still don't have the certainty then.
No.
Because you don't know that God's going to turn around and say, yeah, you're a strong believer. Well,
it's when we pray in accordance with His will, isn't it? So the trouble for us, I think, is discerning God's will, isn't it? Yeah. So I think that's where we can doubt, isn't it? Sometimes, whether whether we're on the right path, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Sometimes I don't know.
But then if he was a bit blimmin' clearer, yeah, and I wouldn't have all these problems, would I? See those holy orders that Vicky was on about earlier? If he sent me some holy orders, then I'd be like, right, fine. I know what I'm supposed to be doing now. We don't get them like that, do we? No. Let's be interesting and continue. Look, we've pretty much hit the hour. So, look, I'm glad everyone's cool. I haven't got enough likes. Get some likes. Look, where's that button? Hey, get some more likes up. If you don't get any more likes up, then I know that you didn't like this one. And I'm really sorry about the audio. I'm hoping the phone system's the thing that's dragged it down to where it is. Because if it has, at least that's identified what the problem is that I've been having over the last whatever. And I'll try and get that fixed. So I should bid you good night. And from me and Revo.
Yep.
And we shall catch you on Sunday morning for a service, 11:30. You know where we are. Okay, everyone. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.